This is United Network News with Sunny Galt, Calen, Kimberly Gogan, and our field messengers from around the world. Here's today's real news.
Large-scale solar panel installations in Japan promoted as clean energy may pose significant environmental and financial risks. UNN Field Messenger Akira highlights concerns about their long-term impact on the environment and local communities.
Hello, this is Field Messenger Akira reporting for UNN from Aso, Kumamoto Prefecture, Kyushu District, Japan. This diverse solar panel field is among the mountainside of Aso, one of the most beautiful places in Japan. This place was once a pasture for cattle. After the Stock Breeders Association of this place gave up cattle breeding, the energy company came and borrowed this land. And amazingly, most inhabitants of this community don't know there are huge solar panel facilities in the heart of the mountains. Big companies, the government, and the mainstream media call it clean energy. However, I think it's a cunning, dirty business scheme. Solar farms are extremely dangerous to Mother Earth, to wildlife, and consequently to human life. In Japan, a large business firm, a mega bank, and an investment company hide behind the use of a limited liability company, LLC, as an entrepreneur. The company collects funds by borrowing from the bank and government subsidies. Then it rents land, buys and installs solar panels, and sells electricity to the power company at a higher rate than usual. This business seems to make lots of profit, but curiously enough, the enterprise changes often. And of course, these solar panels are not for permanent use. My friend says his late father bought and set up those solar panels on top of their home's roof. They were broken and became unusable before 10 years passed, although they were guaranteed for 20 years. The solar panel company does not exist anymore, so he can't complain to anyone. He says he also cannot dispose of those panels because the contents are extremely poisonous. And if the same thing happens to these mega solar panel facilities, what would be the consequence? Who is going to take responsibility for these enormous chemical junks? Once something disastrous has happened, like an earthquake or a big storm. If the contents of these panels got out, it will contaminate the ground and underground water for long periods. That would destroy natural habitat and vast agricultural land. The company may soon declare bankruptcy and disappear. Then, who takes responsibility? The investors? Cleverly enough, they only take responsibility for the amount which they invested. Do the landowner take responsible? I don't think they have such money. Then, the local authority? Japanese government? That means the taxpayers' money will have to be used. This is Field Messenger Akira reporting from Kumamoto Prefecture, Japan. Thank you for watching.
Fusion energy is like something straight out of science fiction, a way to mimic the power of the stars right here on Earth. By harnessing the same process that powers the sun, scientists are exploring a way to produce virtually limitless clean energy. But could our future really involve something as wild as mini stars powering our cities and solving humanity's energy problems?
For more than 70 years, scientists have been working on different fusion technologies, like donut-shaped reactors and lasers, to heat hydrogen fuel until its atoms fuse and release energy.
The way scientists view fusion completely shifted in 2022 when a breakthrough was achieved at Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory in California. For the first time, a fusion reaction produced more energy than it used, proving fusion could be a viable clean energy source. But what exactly is fusion, and how does it work?
Can nuclear fusion solve the energy and climate crisis? Fusion reactors can heat up to 150 million degrees Celsius. At this temperature, tiny particles in the reactor turn into plasma and begin colliding and fusing with each other. This fusion releases a lot of energy, which the reactor can transform into electricity. The only byproduct of the process is helium gas, which can be safely released into the atmosphere. What's more, the particles needed to fuel the reactor can be distilled from any type of water and are therefore pretty easy to obtain. The problem, though, is that nuclear fusion is only in experimental stages, and there are still a lot of technical challenges to overcome. But scientists hope that one day, fusion reactors may provide limitless clean energy.
Fusion comes with some expensive challenges. The technology needed for fusion is super complex and expensive. And despite all the progress, scientists are still figuring out how to make it viable at scale. New materials are needed to handle the intense heat and radiation, as well as safely manage radioactivity, since reactor materials become radioactive over time. Researchers are working on designing materials that decay quickly and can be safely disposed of. Fuel production is another big issue. While deuterium is easy to extract from water, producing enough tritium, usually from lithium, will be much tougher. A single reactor might need up to 1 kilogram or 2.2 pounds of tritium every day, far more than current nuclear reactors can supply as a byproduct.
Why is nuclear fusion so hard? Well, it's like trying to combine two super bouncy balls. You need to get them really close, which is hard because they repel each other just like magnets. And when you finally get them close, they tend to bounce apart with a lot of energy. Need to heat them millions of degrees and compress them for long enough to release sustainable controlled energy. This costs more energy than it makes. When we can make it cost much less, then we will have an amazing clean energy source.
Fusion energy has been making some exciting progress lately, but experts agree it's still a long way from being part of our daily lives. In early 2025, China's East Reactor, also known as the artificial sun, set a new record by sustaining fusion plasma for nearly 18 minutes. Not long after, France's West Reactor broke that record.
France's West Tokamak reactor has set a new world record in fusion research, sustaining a plasma reaction for 22 minutes on February 12, 2025. This achievement, led by the French Alternative Energies and Atomic Energy Commission, CEA, marks a step forward in controlled nuclear fusion. Fusion power, which mimics the sun's energy by fusing hydrogen isotopes, promises a clean and virtually limitless energy source. The challenge lies in maintaining the extreme conditions needed for a sustained reaction. The West Tokamak successfully contained plasma at over 100 million degrees Celsius for 1,337 seconds, surpassing China's recent record of 1,066 seconds. The experiment tested tungsten reactor components to withstand prolonged exposure to high temperatures. Researchers injected 2 megawatts of heating power into the plasma while maintaining stability. This work supports future projects like the International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor ITER, which aims to create a self-sustaining fusion reaction. While WEST is not designed for commercial power generation, its findings bring fusion energy closer to reality. Scientists will now push for longer reaction times, refining the technology that could one day provide a new global energy source.
Regulating fusion energy comes with its own set of challenges. Unlike nuclear fission, which splits atoms to release energy, fusion combines them and requires specific safety measures to protect workers, the public, and the environment. Existing nuclear safety standards don't quite fit, and applying them directly won't cover fusion's unique needs. Despite its challenges and limitations, fusion remains a promising solution to our energy needs. With continued research and development, it is possible that one day we will be able to harness the power of the stars right here on Earth.
It is essential to first identify the issues facing our communities before working to find solutions. UNN Field Messenger Gids interviews members of his local community in South Africa to discuss their challenges.
Hello, dear friends. I am Gates from Johannesburg, doing a field messenger report, sharing with you a bit of our village, our challenges, and how we anticipate to solve them.
We have a community that lives in Windsor East and Windsor West. What we're experiencing as a community right now, our people are suffering because of drugs. And people are homeless, and it's frustrating for us as a community.
I think the main problems within the, let's say, the Windsor community is obviously is unemployment and poverty. So yes, I also do think that if people have a meaning in their life and a worthiness in their life, then you're not looking for external gratification or to feel better, like taking drugs.
I believe that for me, it starts with us, especially at schools, to first teach how important it is with self-love and be patriotic about your surroundings, your country, where you're coming from. Because when all that is in good perspective in our people's, young people's minds, when they grow up in the South Africa that they love. They will grow up into South Africa that they want to see. They will make it how they want it to be.
I think if we stand back and look at all the problems that we are dealing with, and for the sake of perspective, look at the overlapping issues, we all pretty much want the same thing, the same opportunities and chance for a decent life. Doesn't matter where you are, who you are, and where you live.
Hi everyone, this is Leanne.
And I'm Jerry.
Coming to you from Tamworth, New South Wales.
Hi there, this is Rick from Arizona.
My name is Uchechukwu Obenebam from Igbo tribe, Nigeria.
Hi, this is Scott from Utah.
I'm Annette from Agassiz, British Columbia.
Hi, I'm Marcus Surzet from Manipur State, India.
Real people reporting real stories from all around the world. That's what United Network News is all about.
Can you clap?
We had a huge flood, which some call the flood of the century.
No fake news here. Our field messengers share personal experiences of what's really happening in their community.
We got some nice fish right here.
At UNN, you are the news.
My family and I had a very good time.
Take the next step. Become a UNN field messenger and share the real news with the world.
In the northwest province of South Africa, I am United Network News.
I am United Network News.
I am United Network News.
I am United Network News, and if it's going to be, it's up to me.
It's going to be, it's up to me. If it is going to be, it's up to me.
If it's going to be, it's up to me.
If it's going to be, it's up to us. Field Messages, United Network News. See you next time.
Step into a world of possibilities with New Earth, a groundbreaking series that shines light on holistic ways to live, work, and thrive. Join us weekly to discover new innovative ideas and explore the world around us as we, together, create our future, our New Earth.
Today's parents have more tools than ever to keep tabs on their kids. GPS tracking apps, parental control software, and location sharing features promise safety and peace of mind. But are these tools a smart way to protect kids, or do they create unnecessary surveillance and distrust?
In the age of smartphones, kids are often glued to their devices, which can feel like both a blessing and a curse. While these devices can offer a sense of connection, entertainment, and education, they also create a constant challenge for parents trying to balance oversight with privacy. It's not just about knowing where their child is physically, it's about what they're doing online, who they're communicating with, and how much time they spend on these devices. Parents face the difficult decision of whether to monitor these activities more closely or risk being out of the loop. Ironically, many parents are now turning to apps to help ease their concerns.
In today's digital age, it is crucial for parents to monitor what their children do on the internet. And I'm sure some parents wonder, well, why should I care about who my children are messaging online? And if you ask me, it's about their safety. The online world can be a breeding ground for cyberbullying, inappropriate content, and even online predators. Spending hours on YouTube might seem harmless, but without the proper guidance, it can lead to addiction and even a lack of balance in their lives. Parental monitoring isn't about invading our children's privacy. It's about ensuring a healthy online experience. It's about teaching digital responsibility, protecting their innocence, and helping them make informed choices. So parents, I encourage you, let's stay involved, let's set boundaries, and create a safe digital space for our children, because I truly believe that their well-being depends on it.
For basic screen controls, parents don't always need extra apps. Both iPhones and Androids have built-in parental controls. On iPhones, Apple's Screen Time lets you set app limits, choose which apps your child can use, and schedule downtime. You can also track their app usage and block inappropriate content. It's a simple way to manage screen time without anything extra. Third-party child monitoring apps offer a lot more than just basic controls. For example, Family Time goes beyond screen time limits by tracking your kids' social media activity, letting you see what they're up to on platforms like Instagram and Snapchat. Life 360 tracks your teens' driving habits, giving you reports on their speed, braking, and overall driving safety. Now, some newer apps are taking a different approach, using AI to monitor activity without parents directly snooping on every message or post. These apps scan for concerning content, like cyberbullying or threats, without exposing every private conversation, giving kids more privacy while still keeping parents in the loop. But, as the old saying goes, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should.
Are you tracking your teen? Did you know it doesn't make them safer? There is no research that shows tracking kids' locations saves lives. But if it was only ineffective, I'd say, whatever, it's your family. And I know a lot of people are thinking, we all share a location. It's not just me tracking them. I don't care. Did you know it makes you more vigilant and less connected to your teen? Digitally monitoring your child makes you more stressed and less able to feel the positive effects of bonding with your kid. But if it was only bad for adults, I'd say it's kind of like alcohol. It's not healthy, but you're grown up and you can make your own decisions. But it's also bad for teens. That's right. Tracking kids makes them less confident in their ability to navigate the world, less competent at solving their own problems, and more anxious. That's why I'm telling you about it. Listen, you're an expert in your kid. So if you say that right now your child needs you in their pocket in order to find their way home or do the right thing, I believe you. But what are you doing to teach them the skills they lack so you can send them out in the world without your constant attention? You need a plan to stop tracking them, even if you let them track you.
Parental controls can feel like a constant battle. Kids want more freedom, while parents just want to keep them safe. It's tough to find the right balance between protecting them online and respecting their privacy, especially as they get older and savvier about bypassing restrictions. Plus, no app or setting can replace real conversations about safety, responsibility, and trust. At the end of the day, the goal isn't just to control what they do, it's to guide them into making smart choices on their own. That's why open and honest communication is key. The more kids understand why you're setting limits, the more likely they are to make good decisions, even when no one's watching.
Parents are worried that if they decide to sort of keep an eye on what's happening on the device, that their child is going to think they don't trust them or that it's going to create some sort of issues with trust. So that's the thing I would lead with. I would lead with saying, I trust you and I trust that you know what you're doing on your device. At the same time, it's my job to keep you safe. Everyone makes mistakes. We know you're still learning. I want to make sure that, I can help you learn and figure things out as you start using a phone. And then I think you can discuss with them the plan. So whether it's, that you're going to do kind of quick spot checks of the phone once in a while, whether you're going to sit with them and together they're going to, give you a little tour of what they're doing on the device day to day, whether you're going to share passwords or not share passwords. These are all things that, you can establish as part of your, monitoring plan.
If you choose to use a parent tracking app, there are a few things to keep in mind. First, privacy is super important. Make sure the app has strong security and check its privacy policy to see how your data is used. Watch out for automatic renewals and no refund policies, as some apps automatically renew subscriptions, which can catch you by surprise. Pricing can vary, so make sure the app fits your budget, especially if you're looking for premium features. You'll also want to pick an app your child can't easily bypass. Look for one with safeguards that prevent them from deleting it. Tracking apps can be a helpful tool, but they shouldn't replace real conversations about safety, trust, and independence. The goal isn't just to know where your child is. It's to raise responsible, confident kids who can navigate the world safely on their own.
The Gold Coast is one of Australia's top tourist destinations and is famous for its stunning beaches and surf culture. UNN field messenger Daniela shows us this amazing place.
Hi everyone, this is Daniela, field messenger for United Network News, reporting from Gold Coast, Australia, and I'd like to show you a few of our beautiful beaches.
Gold Coast is considered one of the main Australian touristic destinations, located on the east coast, on the Pacific Ocean and 1 hour south of Brisbane. Also, an interesting fact, there are 260 kilometers of navigable waterways. It has more canals than Venice. Many beautiful parklands are on the foreshore with plenty of open space for everyone to enjoy the outdoor lifestyle. Gold Coast offers amazing sunrises, and the locals and visitors love waking up early and watching the sun rising from the ocean, meditating, swimming, taking the dog for a walk, going for a jog or a bike ride. It is such a special moment of the day, filled with beautiful energies of peace, hope, healing, beauty, and joy. There are many high-rise buildings and plenty of cafes, restaurants, and shopping areas. And despite the name, Surfers Paradise is most popular with people who come here to exercise, play, and relax rather than surf. Burleigh Heads is the place I like the most, away from the hustle and bustle of Surfers Paradise. You can see it in the distance. Has a laid-back atmosphere with plenty of green spaces to relax and watch the surf. Burleigh Heads has a beautiful lush national park with tropical bush-covered headlands reaching out into the ocean. There are many walking tracks and lookouts with stunning views of the coast. It is truly a special place. Thank you so much for watching and have a beautiful day.
Imagine a world where giving and sharing are at the heart of how we live. That's the beauty of a gift economy. It's about building connection and generosity without expecting something in return. It makes you pause and wonder, what kind of community could we create if we valued kindness over transactions? The concept of a gift economy has been around for centuries in many indigenous cultures. It's based on the belief that everyone has inherent value, and giving without expectation ultimately benefits everyone involved. In contrast, traditional economic systems often prioritize competition and individual gain over collective well-being. This can lead to feelings of isolation, inequality, and scarcity within society. In a gift economy, the focus isn't on making money or profit. It's all about building connections and strengthening community bonds. It challenges the usual ideas of capitalism, where success is tied to wealth. Here, everyone has something to give and receive, whether it's a skill, knowledge, time, or just being there to listen. Giving becomes about trust and gratitude, not about getting something in return. One key idea is reciprocity. People give freely without keeping tabs, which creates a feeling of abundance and trust. Another big part is paying it forward. When someone gets a gift, they're encouraged to help someone else, creating a ripple effect of generosity. It's all about creating a sense of community and connection through giving.
Let's talk about the gift economy. Now, the gift economy is something where a gift is given and then it is just keeps on being passed on and passed on and passed on. And it eventually comes back in some form to the original giver. Now, I studied this in my doctoral studies, and I didn't really understand it then because I thought, is that really a gift if you expect it to come back to you somehow? That's a misunderstanding. So basically, the gift economy it never stops. Gift never stops with the person receiving it. It always is passed on in some way. It's wealth distribution. It's saying no to ownership, saying that if I receive something, I do enjoy it and use it, but then I pass it on. I make sure that everyone has enough and we're generous, and it's just a circle that keeps going and going and going in generosity so that everyone has something and we all share it together. And we see this in some of the Indigenous communities in Canada. It's called potlatch, and it was actually criminalized by the Canadian government for many years because it was seen as, anti-capitalism, meaning anti-civilized. So that was very wrong of us, and we need to learn something about the gift economy from the Indigenous communities.
A gift economy has its perks, but also its challenges. It's great for building trust and strengthening community bonds, which can lead to a more peaceful society. On a personal level, giving to others can boost your happiness and self-esteem while ensuring everyone in the community is cared for. But modern cities aren't like small villages, where close-knit groups naturally give and share. Most of us don't even know our neighbors, making it easier to rely on a market economy where you just pay for what you need. Gift economies struggle on a larger scale because there's no way to ensure everyone gives back. And free riders, those who take without contributing, are harder to avoid. In smaller groups with strong social connections, it works better since people feel good about giving and holding each other accountable. Still, in today's world, market economies are so deeply ingrained in our lives that it's tough for a gift economy to compete.
Can you explain what you mean by gift economy?
There's no dollar sign on products. We're not commodifying anything, right? It's based on exchange. Well, for instance, if I give something to Jason, we're like, oh, here, take it. Would receive that back in return, right? And so there's since like everything is yours in a sense, right? There's no privatization, right? It's not to say this is like a communist kind of thing where you're getting all your basic needs, and I'm not saying gift economy is perfect, right, by any means, but you're mutually sharing these things, right? You're under one community rather than being separate and privatized. Gotcha. It's the difference between the Ledeckis, right, the gift economy and capitalistic system. There's just this kind of overall corruption that never really seems to be solved because we're just constantly consuming needless products, right? Our bottom line is profit. And at the end of the day, people just are all about themselves and not about others.
According to Quick Economics, modern economies can include aspects of the gift economy through things like philanthropy, corporate social responsibility, community-supported agriculture, and the sharing economy. These don't replace the market economy, but add to it, addressing unmet needs and building community and support. The gift economy offers countless opportunities to explore new ways of sharing and connecting, from local tool libraries that allow neighbors to share tools and equipment to online communities like the Buy Nothing Project. These initiatives highlight how people can come together to support one another in meaningful and inspiring ways. At UNN, you are the news. Get involved by joining our weekly Field Messenger meetings. Visit unitednetwork.earth to learn more. Remember, if it's going to be, it's up to me.